Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, chers amis de la France. Bastille Day is a special day of pride for the people of France, built on the memory and the significance of the storming of the Royal Bastille prison on the 14th of July, 1789. Each 14th of July, we celebrate our national heritage and the three core principles of the Republic of France: liberté, égalité, fraternité. Bastille Day is celebrated with compatriots in France, whether it is on the Champs-Élysées or here in the Antipodes. In March, I had the honor of taking up my post as Ambassador of France to New Zealand. I arrived in a year during which we mark many historical events that brought our countries together. First, the 175th anniversary of the arrival and settlement of French citizens in Akaroa. Could you imagine how the South Island would be if it were French? Second, the Great War centenary commemorations, when French and Kiwi soldiers fought bravely side by side. And last but not least, 70 years of diplomatic relations between our two countries. The solid foundations of our excellent bilateral relations were formalized in 1945 when General Charles de Gaulle appointed Armand Cazelle as the first ambassador of France to New Zealand. 70 years on, we find ourselves at a prime moment of our relationship, a time when we can evaluate its strengths and weaknesses and take it to a new level. Obviously, New Zealand's rockstar economy has not gone unnoticed in the French business circles. Many French global players are active in all sectors of its rock-solid economy. In agriculture, Pernod Ricard, who is kindly providing the wine tonight, are one of the largest French investors here in New Zealand. You might be aware also that French company Andros, who produces the famous Confiture Bonne Maman, has just acquired Barker's of Geraldine. In transportation, Airbus, a European company whose head office is in France, has just bought Sayfair. In fact, it is likely that you are using financial services, water, energy, roads or trains constructed or managed by French companies. Indeed, since the establishment of our diplomatic relations, trade has only continued to strengthen, although my feeling is that our relation is still under the potential. France in New Zealand is also about the many individual French businesses in the food and hospitality sectors who are making life so tasty here. Equally, Kiwi enterprises are making advancement in European and French markets in new areas such as health software, banking software, and IT. Politically, it was also 70 years ago, with the creation of the United Nations, that France and New Zealand committed to peace and security. France welcomes New Zealand's 2-year term at the Security Council and is committed to working together closely with New Zealand during its July presidency. Allow me to highlight two shared priorities. First, a more efficient and credible UN where the use of the veto will be re-examined. Second, the building of international support for Middle East peace process negotiations. As a neighbor in the Pacific, through New Caledonia, French Polynesia, and Wallis and Futuna, France will equally support the open debate organized by New Zealand on security challenges confronting small island developing economies. 2015 is, of course, an extremely significant year for the most urgent global issue, climate change. In December, France will be hosting and chairing the crucial UN conference on climate change. An agreement in Paris is a necessity. What about the future? As Ambassador of France to New Zealand, my ambition, on Bastille Day, one might call it my own creative revolution, is to encourage a sense of creativity in our bilateral relations. Be creative when we cooperate on global issues, whether it is within the United Nations or on the crucial issue of climate change. To intensify our regional cooperation in the Pacific, to release the potential of our economic partnership by building upon a future free trade agreement between New Zealand and Europe, and also investing in the creative and innovative sectors. And finally, to contribute to new memories, what I call les nouvelles mémoires, for the future through cooperation in science and culture. Allow me to share with you a few of our projects which evoke a sense of these nouvelles mémoires. First, Shared Histories, a collaborative project established by the New Zealand and French Ministries of Education. Students from across France and New Zealand work together to commemorate, but also to ensure that the great lesson of World War I are carried into the future. Second, the French Memorial at Te Pukehau National War Memorial Park will be a legacy to our long-lasting friendship. Third, 2 new artist residencies here in New Zealand respond to our priority on exploring creative and innovative sectors. Te Ata Ata will host a French professional in the creative technologies sector, and Te Wharehera is designed to bring contemporary artists to stay and create in Wellington. In the scientific domain, 2015 marks the 10th anniversary of the Dumont d'Urville program, which, with over 50 projects to date, promotes and supports scientific and technological cooperation between French and New Zealand researchers. However, one of the best indicators of the future relations between France and New Zealand is the enthusiasm of our young people. Annually, 7,000 young French people arrive under the working holiday scheme. Some will stay longer, having taken on a permanent job, or even because of finding love with a Kiwi. Naturally, this interest in another culture works both ways. Over 50,000 Kiwi students are learning French, the most taught foreign language in schools. A further telling indication is the record 35,000 spectators for the 2015 Alliance Française French Film Festival. France also is a favorite destination for New Zealand tourists, whether it is for our gastronomy, history, our wine, or most simply for the French way of life. In 2015, Bastille Day remains as important as ever. With the dynamism of the French community in New Zealand, the support of my formidable team at the embassy, and the welcoming and warm support of all New Zealanders alike, I'm looking forward to adding my enthusiasm and dedication to the already vibrant relations between our two nations. Vive la Nouvelle-Zélande, vive la République, vive la France!